I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready. No.
Heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Good morning. What's going on? It's the show. Hey, buddy. Coffee cheers to you. What's up, Dickie Doodle Davis? What's up, world?
Good, man.
What's going on? It's the show, sports, entertainment, and life. Covino and Rich. Hope you had a great Monday night. The Tom Brady sort of 2 tutties, 307 yards Monday night. We're going to have a kick-ass Tuesday. We're going to have some mega dope shows, enjoy some tacos. We got stories for days. We got rando news. We got entertainment and fun. And we got Dickie Doo on location. Where you at?
Oh, that's a mystery, Covino. First, we must rock out.
Let's do it.
And I'll tell you.
Rocking out. It's what we do. Rocking out is what I like to do. And every day I'm rocking out a little more and a little more and a little more when I'm not crashing. Because by midday, I'm like, I'm exhausted, I'm spent, I'm not getting better. But right now when I'm sipping on my coffee, I'm feeling it. I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys. Where are you, man? Rich is on his excursion, on his road trip to Grandmama's house he goes for the holidays.
I am on I'm on location in beautiful Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona, man. So
Yeah,
how
Tucson.
far away did you make it from LA to there? How far is that?
Bro, I don't even know if
That was your big
that's the
worry
way to-
yesterday, like how far you were going to go.
Yeah, I don't even know if you could use those type of terms, because how far or how long I was in the car, because how far and how long I was in the car are two different stories. Because I just feel like when you're leaving the LA area, even if it's early afternoon, lunchtime, rush hour, anywhere, I feel like a couple of the hours we're in traffic, which means, do you count those?
Yeah, you count those.
No, so I mean, like, I made it.
So give me two separate stats here. How long were you on the road, and how far you got? We already know. But how long were you on the road?
I was in the car from like roughly 2:30 in the afternoon, and we got to the hotel at almost like 2 at night. So, but we lose an hour. So I'd say roughly like fucking like 10 to 11 hours, and we're not even halfway.
Were you Les Miserables on the road trip? Yesterday, at the end of yesterday's show on Patreon, if you missed it, catch it, because Rich was talking about his crazy level of anxieties making this 20-hour trip from L.A. to see Grandma for Thanksgiving with the 2 kids, the doggy, and just, again, 20 hours of travel.
I have the longest day ahead of me today, because today's the day where, when we're done on the show, right back on the road, same fucking thing. And I'm like, could I make it to New Braunfels, Texas tonight? I don't know. I really don't know. You know what it is? It's one factor. It's Ben. It's that fart-writing,
The Ben factor.
pompadour having,
The Ben.
little wild Bam Bam 1.5-year-old monster boy, because
Beast Boy.
yo, the dog just chills on a little blanket in the middle of the back seat, just like laying there. Piper's loving life. My daughter, taking little naps, playing puzzles on her iPad, watching episodes of Umi Zumi and different shows she likes. She's chill. She hasn't asked one time, "Are we there yet?" She's fucking great. It really is. It's Ben. It's trying to contain a 1.5-year-old. Because every hour or so, you got to stop and be like, "Yo, do we have to change him? Does he need a drink?" Then if he started crying in the middle of the night last night, and the only way he would not cry is if I had my arm fully extended in the back seat, like tapping him. And then if I tried to pull it away, he'd start crying. So how uncomfortable is it when you have to take your seatbelt off, like lean behind you and be like, tap, 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 like nonstop? I was fucking aggravated, but hey, we're halfway there. And like you said yesterday, Sarah has that same vibe of, let's make it an adventure. Let's not bitch and complain. So I will not.
Rich is living on a prayer. I said that yesterday, too. If you missed anything, patreon.com/Covino and Rich. You know it. You're here. Tell your friends about it. We also had a free Twitch Friday last week. I hope you enjoyed it. FoxSportsRadio.com over the weekend. So lots going on. If you need to play catch-up, Pat Mahomes style, we appreciate you. I sure did. All right, so Spot says I have to make a technical adjustment. I probably should have did that on the sneak tip while he went to Rich, but give me 1 second. We got stories, entertainment, and more. I have random questions too, so.
Super easy fix.
Okay.
It's the one that looks like a USB. Just push it up. You got this.
You can do it.
You can do it. I know he can. I'm so I know he can do it.
Let me tell you, Spot. Being on the road with your buddies versus your family are two different things. I don't know how to describe it because we've taken road trips. I don't know. Maybe I am speaking from a rare perspective.
Did you
Do you
do
think?
the right one?
I've driven across the country with my family and with my buddies, and let me tell you, with your buddies is way easier.
Oh, yeah, and more fun. I mean, family gets stressful.
Yeah.
Kids are a little pain in the ass. Boogers and doo-doo and complaining and, but it's all part of the deal. Is that better, Spot?
I don't know. I can't tell.
You said put up the fader with the USB symbol, right?
With the USB symbol, yeah. So you pushed it up a bit?
Push the fader up. You want me to put it more?
Okay. Yeah, so it must just be right. Rich, can you boost your microphone up a little bit?
Oh, did he hit the fader or the Terry fader?
I think he hit the Terry fader. People are just saying you're quiet, so I just want to make sure that that because Covino's in studio, not to go over Shinfo. Covino's in studio.
Want me to boost my microphone settings?
Yes, please boost your microphone.
Check. Is that better?
Oh, I think that is better.
Is that a little louder? I moved it up one little notch on the Zoom.
Yeah. All
Check
right.
1 2 1 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There it is.
Well, guys,
There it is.
hope you had a great night. We're going to have a great day. That's the plan. We're going to enjoy some tacos on this Tuesday. So, usually start the show where we left off. Rich was stressed out yesterday. We had a fun show, though. If you missed it, catch it. I hope you enjoyed it. My mom made a cameo. That was awkward. But
Did
funny.
you talk to your mom after the show? A lot of people were like,
No.
I wonder if Steve had to clear the air with his mom about.
I mean, of course.
Oh, you claim
were
that
completely
you were
instigating.
raised on cereal.
Yeah, so no, it did not. But I'm not trying to stress out on shit like that when I'm feeling like dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering, every day. It's pretty stressful, man. Like my whole body, Rich, you don't know what I'm going through. My whole body's all broken out. It's disgusting. It's gross.
No,
because I was taking steroids for 2 weeks.
Listen,
I had a bad reaction to it, I guess.
I'm
everything
not,
about this has been a nightmare.
I'm not checking you out and being judgy McJudgy. But when you said that the other day, you're like, yo, bro, I'm breaking out. I just glanced over at you, and you're a 40-something-year-old man. I haven't seen you have pimples since we were in our 20s, and I saw your neck was you had a fucking thing going on. I'm like, oh man, he really is breaking out.
No, that was just a hickey that Kim Kardashian gave me over the weekend.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, yeah, it's cool.
Forehead is all messed up. That's not why I'm wearing a hat, though. Just wearing a hat today because, anyway, still dealing with a lot of shit. So, no, I'm not worried about that. My mom was mad, though. If you missed that, that was fun. Awkward burgers were served yesterday on the show. But on the way home, it was like a mad scramble. Remember when Ferris Bueller's trying to get back before his parents?
Yeah, of course. It's legendary.
And he's running through the bushes. I was just trying to get back yesterday on time. Behind the scenes, Shinfo, behind the velvet rope. On Mondays, I switch with a girl named Katie Babs on Sirius XM Turbo. So I do the early shift. So in order to do that, because I'm on the air here live, I have to pre-record. And I usually pre-record half the show so that I can get home and record the second half and still be topical on things that are happening that day, right? So in other words, guys, on Sunday nights, I record Turbo, but up until a certain point. And then when I get home, I finish the rest of the show, right?
Makes sense.
As close to real time, Bill Maher style, as I can. That's what I do on Mondays. Mondays, I'm on early. Tuesday through Fridays, I'm on every night, Channel 41 Turbo. So I'm here dilly-dallying with you guys, just, BSing about the week to come, holiday week, Thanksgiving, our schedule, what's going on with the show, our Black Friday sale. I'm just dilly-dallying. Hey, Sarah, what's up, kids? What's going on? All right. Then I drive to CVS because I keep getting these reminders. You ever get prescription reminders just like constantly and you just let them go away?
No, I don't. You know, it's funny. We don't have any prescriptions in my family. And but anytime, let's say we go to the doctor, I feel like they call you 20 times to be like, hey, it's ready. And it's like, yo, I got it. I'll be there.
Right. So sometimes I just get like prescription updates and I never pick them up and they expire and they go away. So I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of fucking getting these text messages on my ride home. I'm going to stop by CVS, pick this shit up, get it off my plate because I'm sick of getting these updates and these alerts and I don't want to miss this prescription while it's there. Then it dawned on me, so I got a question for you. And it may be an obvious answer. Fine. I should probably ask my Uncle Bill. Shout out to Uncle Bill and all the pharmacists in my family. My cousin Anthony, he's a pharmacist. My Aunt Cookie could have been, but she's a nurse now. A lot of pharmacists in my family. Uncle Victor, he was the OG. May he rest in peace.
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
In 15 plus years of working with you, I knew your Uncle Bill was, but I didn't know you came from a family of pharmacists.
Yeah, my Uncle Victor owned the pharmacy.
I know one person. My friend Kara's a pharmacist. I know one pharmacist. You just named like 7 pharmacists.
Well, shout out to Jose Mangan, our good pal Jose Mangan. We told a story about him yesterday. An update on Jose. If you missed it, you got to watch it. It's a funny story Rich told. He was in school to be a pharmacist. Just a side note. Uncle Bill, my uncle through marriage, married my Aunt Googie. They met in pharmacy school at Rutgers. He also went to school. Actually, they met at a pharmacy. He went to school with my cousin Anthony. That's the truth. That's the truth. He went to school with my cousin, actually. He went to school with my cousin Anthony, who's a pharmacist, who listens. And my Uncle Victor owned a pharmacy growing up. He was a pharmacist my whole life.
No, you sound like Marissa Tomei and my cousin Vinny. My dad's a mechanic. His dad was a mechanic.
My brother's a mechanic.
My brother's a mechanic. They're all mechanics.
My father's father was a mechanic.
I'm just telling you the truth.
On my father's side was mechanic.
My Uncle Bill's a pharmacist. My Aunt Googie's a pharmacist. Their kid's a pharmacist. Their uncle's a pharmacist. They met at a pharmacy. They're all pharmacists.
My point is, I have people to ask, but I'm throwing it out here. Like, yo, your prescriptions expire. Like, they expire. A lot of times it's like take as needed. Let's say you don't necessarily need things all the time. What, they go old? The chemicals inside fade away?
Like, if you have lotion for, I don't know, fucking athlete's foot, if you let it sit at the pharmacy where that prescription is months old, you know what I think it's like, Covino? I think it's
not only that. Like I have, let's say I have anxiety medicine that says take as needed, right? I have it because I don't really need it all the think You're going to tell me there's an expiration date and I could throw that shit away? Like, why would I do that? Because...
Well, hold on. I mean, I think I have your answer. I think the medicine itself, if you're asking that question, that's obvious. Medicine goes bad. But if you're asking like the actual prescription, like if you have 3 refills, when do those refills? I think it's like, Spot, would you back me up in that I think it's sort of like when someone issues you a check. If you don't cash it within like 90 days, it's void. Like if your pharmacist is like, oh, Covino, you got a butt rash? Here's a prescription for a lotion. If you don't claim that, I bet you in a couple months, it's void, like a check.
Okay, that's a different question, but
you're asking the actual medicine? Medicine goes bad.
What, the potency just goes away, dissipates, yes. It's gone, and that's it?
Medicine goes bad, yes.
So if I have, let's say, anxiety medicine, and it expired in October, I'm supposed to dump a half a fucking bottle of shit away like that because it's not going to work.
It's expired, yes.
It's not like it's rotten. Like it's going to make.
I don't believe it.
It loses its effectiveness.
You don't believe it?
I don't. I really don't. I don't believe that. I don't believe.
You don't believe medicine?
I believe maybe certain medicines. I don't believe all medicines are going to fucking lose their potency to the point where it's not going to have a decent impact on whatever I need at the moment.
You're trying to tell me that if you get a little head cold, and I never get a little head cold, I always get a big head cold. If I go in the cabinet and I find some NyQuil or Tussin or Vicks or something, if that shit says 2018,
what's going to happen?
You think you would take that?
Why? What's not going to happen? It's a scammeroo. They're trying to get you buying new medicine. They're trying to dip into your insurance money. What's going to happen?
I think it still works, but
that's
it's
my
not
point.
Work up to the level that it should. It's not like it's going to. Like, you're not, like I said, you're not eating rotten meat. You're just eating old medicine you're wasting the effectiveness of it.
My prediction is this. If I text Uncle Bill or my cousin Anthony and ask them. They'll be like, yeah, some maybe, like, maybe in liquid form. I'm just making this shit up. Yeah, it loses this potency. If you got like some anxiety medicine, it's still gonna work. Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, so I wanted to pick up my prescription yesterday. Dude, I'm just dilly-dallying. I'm at
Your love is like bad
CVS.
medicine.
I'm buying. I bought this little pill holder just in case. I have some things on standby because I'm an old guy now. Just some things on standby just in case. I notice as you get older, your medicine prescriptions start to add up a little bit. Especially since I've been sick the past month. Yeah, but so here's what happens. So I'm in CVS now and I'm dilly-dallying. I'm looking at stuff. I'm like, yeah, do I need any of that? I don't know. Everyman Jack. Do I need some cremo? That's just muy bueno. Ooh, do I need hair dye? I don't know. So
Let me print out my coupons.
candy. Yeah, I'm like in CVS, right? Jordan texts me. She goes, hey, can you get me some McDonald's on the way home? I said, sure, whatever.
You people in fast food.
So
What I mean, honestly, I'm with him. I'm Sarah and I made an arrangement and an agreement spot that once we're done with this trip, not that we're on some health mission and new thing that you guys can make fun of, but we made the decision like we got to cut out the fucking fast food because you know what happens when neither person. Can you hear me or no?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my mic went out. When either person is not gaining weight, you justify that it's not bad for you. Does that make sense? Like, unless you're seeing a physical result of the bad food.
Everything you say today makes sense. I want you to know that.
Am I really bringing it today or what?
No, everything you're saying today is out of insane, and the fact that you two agree with each other just says it all.
I'm just saying that Rich always asks if that makes sense, and he always makes sense. I might not always agree, but he's making sense.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So you were making fun of me. My bad.
No, not at all. I'm just saying
I thought you genuinely were saying I made sense.
from now to the
I thought so.
for the next 2 hours, you make sense always.
I think that it's still about quality of what you're putting in your body.
No, agreed, Spot. But what I'm saying is, if you don't see a physical, like if I still weigh 190 pounds and with my shirt off I look the same, I'm not going to be like, yeah, let me cut out those cheeseburgers because aesthetically, if you don't look different, does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense?
He said, everything makes sense.
Makes sense. By the way,
Good.
Ray
All right,
hit us
great.
up.
Makes sense.
Ray,
By
on
the
a
way-
side note. What's up,
Okay, by the
Ray?
way, I want to read all the feedback because we're getting a lot of great feedback, and I just called up our in-show thread. And by the way, I know you love to think things are schemeroos and scammeroos because I agree with you. A lot of times things are.
You're going to tell me the little chemical balance of my anxiety medicine starts to fucking decrease. There's a little ticking time bomb in each little pill that starts to go down as the days go by.
Yeah, it's like the Seinfeld bit. It's like the Seinfeld bit with expired milk. The cow tips off the farmer. November 23rd.
The pill tips off the pharmacist. I get it. Yeah, I'm not buying that.
December 4th. Oh, thank you, Cal.
Ray says, our buddy Ray, in regards to, does the potency really go away because there's an expiration date on your prescriptions? We believe that, I guess, but really? Ray says most prescriptions are good for about a year until the fill date. After that, it just reduces the effectiveness, but still works. So, like, for me, a cheapskate like me, who doesn't want to go to the pharmacy and renew his prescriptions, I don't want to throw away the leftovers. I want to keep them. I don't want to throw the pills away. That's really it.
Yeah, Greg Kelly saying he had Xanax, quote, expire. He's like, so it's done? Like, because I didn't take enough of it?
So now I got to throw it away and then go get another prescription? That just sounds like a scam to me. All right. So I'm at CVS, dilly-dallying. Jordan.
Well, hold on, Covino. What you just said is like, defines like our whole civilization. Don't people all have a problem with the pharmaceutical companies taking advantage of like people?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, but now that you're saying it, would we really be surprised if they fudge the expiration dates a little earlier to just keep pumping out product?
Okay, ready? You want the proof? It dawned on me because I had a new prescription, but I looked at my old bottle and that shit expired in 2020. Right? Hugh Downs, it expired when he died. And I've been thinking about it. Well, this is what I've been taking if I need it, if and when. And guess what? It works just fine. So I would have thrown that away for what?
Old antibiotics do go bad. That's from Bill. I will say I agree with who was it? Someone wrote that.
And what happens? Like what happens?
So, no, someone. I'm reading the feedback quickly. Someone said that Spot. You could back me up on this. Lotions and ointments.
Oh wait, so Rich, so the pharmacists when they're doing all their shit, they must throw away all their fucking big giant vats of pills that they have.
No, they sell them to teenagers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Horse shit. So, because they're the ones giving you the medicine, right? So you're going to tell me when their big supply expires, they're throwing it all away? They're just fucking tossing it into the dumpster.
Yeah, but
I'll get to the bottom of
it's
this.
not like their personal medicine that they're giving you. Like, you make it seem like they're mad.
They're
if they
not
have to
there
get rid of it.
muddling every fucking little pill that they give you. They have them.
And they throw them out when they expire because they'll
I
just
don't
get a new
believe that.
supply from the pharma company.
All right, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Well, Covino, my thought is, I know for a fact lotions and creams go bad. If you have to, let's say you have like I don't know, like a fungal infection or like a rash or something, like a kid's got a butt rash or something. Any type of lotion or ointment, that shit does go bad. Like if you use it past the date, it won't work.
Okay, so, it just dawned on me yesterday. That's all.
That's
I'm
all
like,
good.
Not really buying into that because it still works. Is it that significant of a difference or is this an insurance scam?
You know what I did
Probably
do?
a little bit of both.
I have recently stopped buying any name brand medicines, and I'm mad at myself for not doing it until I was 40 because, like, why would you ever buy Advil if the store brand is the same exact ingredients listed and everything? Why would you buy any pill for $2 or $3 more just because it says the name? I don't do that shit anymore.
I have noticed, could be placebo effect, could be in my head, could be anything. I don't know. But Costco sells like generic Zyrtex and things like that. And I understand it's all the same ingredients. I agree with what you said, Rich. But for whatever reason, I feel like it doesn't work as well as the Zyrtec. I don't know. That's just maybe on me. But so I'm at CVS now. I'm thinking about all these things. I'm there to pick up a prescription before it expires. And again, we're talking two different things. Your actual medicine expiring and the actual prescription, running out and picking it up before the date. Because there's a time limit on these things.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been on my ass. I went to CVS. Jordan asked me for McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, cool. Anything I could do to make everybody happy. And yeah, McDonald's, sure. You want McDonald's? No problem. I'll stop on our way home. Then I
Double
realized,
cheeseburger, bro.
dude, I'm
Double
like,
cheese.
I'm right there pulling into McDonald's. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. I got to get home and do turbo. I don't got time for McDonald's. So, dude, just like Ferris Bueller would do it, I fucking went running in. I'm like, Jordan, sorry, can't get you McDonald's. Sorry. I was too busy trying to please everybody. Too busy trying to make everybody happy. Can't do it. I got turbo to do. And I fucking pull in, dude. Take off my jacket. I'm running slow motion. Fucking hop into the room and sit down. And I record my break right before I would have missed it. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? If I didn't get to the studio, my quote unquote home studio right then and there in time, I would have missed my talking break for SiriusXM Turbo.
You threw your code, it landed perfectly.
Yeah.
You took the ball out of your pocket, you threw it, and it hit the turbo microphone.
But dude, I got to tell you, I hate those frantic sort of like on the edge of your seat, like you're in traffic, like, come on. Those moments, bro, that gave me enough anxiety and made my heart race enough for the rest of the day. I was spent. And I thought I'd be done after that. I ended up having to go to Ralph's with Jordan for Thanksgiving food, which was fun. We had a nice time. And then I had to take Melody to Barnes & Noble later on. So that was my Monday.
Truth is, no one would have known. There's a 90% chance no one would have known, but you would have known and it would have bothered you.
Oh, it would have bothered me big time to have to have let that slip and missed that break and just know that I fucked up a little bit. I don't like that. I take pride in my work. And, I would have missed, who knows how many breaks I would have missed if I went to McDonald's, if I just kept dilly-dallying. And then I got stuck in that traffic on my way home from, where I was sort of by McDonald's. Anyway, Went to Barnes & Noble. That's always fun. Anytime I could take my kid. For Melody, going to Barnes & Noble is like you and I, Rich, going to the baseball card shop or the CD store growing up. I would say more like going to the CD store.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, open it up. Take a little sniff of it and fucking read a few pages, get excited about it. Like, she's way into it, and she had to get Hunger Games for her, like, sci-fi book report or some shit. So
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday.
Watch the movie.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And then came home, relaxed, chillaxed, and watched some Monday Night Foosball. And here we are. So did you watch any of the game yesterday or no?
Did I watch the game? Yeah, in the
you
middle
were-
of nowhere in
Hold
Arizona.
on. You had your tablet and stuff, so I didn't know if you were.
Yeah,
Because you
no,
watched
I
that
just-
special we talked about, right?
I did. What I watched in the car ride while Sarah was doing her portion of the drive, I watched the 2020 special you talked about.
Yeah. Disturbing, right? Like
What's the family's last name again?
Turpin.
I'm brain
times.
dead.
The
What is it?
Turpins.
The Turbans. Turpins.
Not the Turbans. Turpins.
The Turpins. And the Turpins are, let me tell you, that family. You made a good point yesterday, and I know you weren't trying to be vain, but you said, how do these girls, they're like beautiful girls, and they lived in the middle of like the worst conditions.
I know it's wrong, but it tugs the heartstrings a little harder when you see how adorable they are. It really is.
Yeah, it was
sad.
Dude, it was so sad.
Yeah, it's
The part, I mean,
so
I don't
bad.
need to say anything else because you pointed out all the important parts. Like, I was amazed how when the one girl was brave enough to leave the house of horrors where they were all chained up and kidnapped essentially by their own parents.
By the way, we're talking about the latest episode of 2020 of all things. But by the way, 2020 always brings it. It's always great regardless. It's just not something we always talk about. But Diane Sawyer covered the Turpin family, a really disturbed, terrible, rotten family from Southern California. These pieces of shit had 15 kids and like terribly abused all of them.
Yo, those parents were so garbaggio and dirty and gross. And the mother had mental problems where she was buying new clothes and toys, but not giving them to the kids. And they lived in like
Piece of shit woman. And they did it because because of the Bible. That was sort of their claim.
Yo,
What pieces of shit they were.
The dad had a worse haircut than Mark Davis of the Raiders.
Fuck them. I hated everything about
I
that
mean,
story. It
I
happened about
hated
3 years
everything
ago.
about this family.
It happened about 3 years ago, but again, this just aired, and they've been making their rounds on like the Today Show, and they've been giving their updates all over the place on all these talk shows. And again, 2020 this past weekend. It was
made
wild
me-
though, right?
It made me very sad.
Yeah, it was sad.
When they didn't know words because they were so isolated and so not part of society. Like the police officer that they first made contact with, the brave girl that like escaped, the 911 dispatcher is like, do you see a street sign? And she's like, what's a street sign? She didn't know if she should walk on the street or the sidewalk, didn't know what a sidewalk was. And then the cop said, young lady, are you on any medications or medicine? And she's like, what's medicine?
Yo, how wild was it that Justin Bieber gave her a lot of strength of all people?
I'm
That
not
was a
going to
cool
lie.
part of the story. I thought
Bieber was going to make a cameo at the end of the special. And I'm sort of bummed he didn't. I thought he was going to show up and be like, I'm glad I could help. Bye.
He definitely should, man. Honest to God, like I would never want to put any pressure on like a celebrity to be, that guy. But part of what gave this girl strength, we didn't touch on this yesterday, was like her infatuation with Justin Bieber. Like it gave her hope and it made her stronger, and she eventually escaped to save the rest of her siblings.
Yo,
And he was
it
a part of
wild.
that story. I was hoping he was going to be there as well. Yeah.
Me too. Spot, there was the sentiment that she didn't know what regular kids lived like. And the only glimpse she got of that was sneaking. She snuck and watched like videos of Justin Bieber. And watching him in his music videos just like dance with people and have fun. Like she's like, that's what the outside world is like. And then she saw people. She also would see clips of people when she would sneak internet time like on like a phone they all like somehow had. She saw other people talk about like how their parents loved them. And she's like, wait, that's how it's supposed to be? Yo, it was so
then
sad.
they started realizing this is wrong. It was justifying their thoughts, but they weren't confident in their thoughts. They didn't know any better. So they had to trust their gut and trust their intuition on, yeah, we're being tortured and abused, and everything about this is wrong. And it took them way long. One of the kids was 29 years old. So it's a horrible story. And we brought this up yesterday because I was really unaware of it. And then there's other people, like my girlfriend Jordan and other people hitting us up yesterday who were way involved and into that story. But when you see it break down on this special, you're like, holy fuck, how did I miss that? And this is disgusting. It was one of the saddest stories I've seen in years. So that's why we brought it up yesterday.
The other big takeaway was, would you believe the mother of all these kids on this 2020 special? They forced their kids to only eat cereal.
Yeah, forced.
No, they had 3-course meals at every meal. That's what I heard. They were treated so well when it came to eating.
Yeah.
Dude, it was.
They were like, only peasants eat cereal.
It was disgusting and wild.
I love cereal.
The only thing, Covino, I could compare it to wrap it up, is you remember that M. Night Shyamalan movie where everyone lives, the village where they are in their own little world because they think if they leave their town, like creatures will kill them, but they're just essentially in a blocked off area in the woods. Yeah, spoiler alert, 20 years later.
Yeah, there was another one in California, right? Didn't this happen recently in California?
Well,
but
this
Covino,
was in California.
Did you see The Village with M. Night Shyamalan back in the day?
I probably saw it. I don't remember.
It was the one where it seemed like they were living in like pilgrim times, and they were in like a little village, and the whole village was scared that if they left the town, monsters would get them. And the M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end was they're living in current day, and they were just in like a national park behind like some fences, and it was like they were just convinced that they couldn't leave.
Well,
it's
they were
fucking
brainwashed, just like these little kids. If you didn't see it, I mean, it's not for everybody. It's a crazy story. It puts things in perspective too. But and a story of strength, if you want to look at it that way. It's fucked up what happened to them afterward. I didn't want to spoil that, but let's just say things weren't all honky or dory, even when they were rescued. The system sort of let them down. That was the ending, but you can watch that on your own. It's available on Hulu. 2020. We discussed it yesterday. Again, it was called House of Horrors with Diane Sawyer or something like that, and Rich watched it on his excursion. But you missed Monday Night Football, Rich. Tom Brady was doing what Tom Brady does. The dude was, I hate the expression, but dropping dimes. You know, he was just putting it into the hands of everybody. Like, if people would catch the passes he threw, like, his stats would have been off the charts. He would have threw for 400 yards last night. But he threw for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. The Buccaneers 7-3 beat the Giants 3-7 now, 30-10. The Giants are just terrible, like noticeably bad, But man,
I was listening to a lot of Sirius XM last night. I listened to sports radio. I listened to Howard a little bit. I was just flipping around trying to find something to keep me awake.
He had Bobo on again.
No, he. What did I hear him talk about? Yo, I've never heard a man more paranoid about COVID than that guy. It's fucking wild.
I mean, I can't really say much about it. I guess, dude, it rocked my life. Yeah. You know, today, wait, is today? Today is the 1-month anniversary of my battle with COVID. Worst fucking month I've had in recent history. You know, I can't think of a worse month. And I did my best to not complain, just explain the things I've been going through. So 1 month today, and I still feel like I don't know if I'm even like getting better anymore. I don't even know.
I was well, I hope you are, man. I was listening to our old pal Bennington. I was just flipping the channel, and all the sports guys. I heard some of our Fox Sports Radio buddies, some of our old friends at ESPN, and everyone was saying the same thing. Daniel Jones isn't the answer. Gettleman's out. The whole Giants organization needs to revamp.
Noticeably bad when you really watch them. I mean, it's a Monday Night Football game. I don't know if you watched Eli and Peyton. They had some cool guests. They had Edelman on last night who was doing like Gronk impressions. And I know some people really enjoy that. But you noticed how bad, especially when you're seeing Jones against Brady, and you're seeing what Brady's doing at 44 years old. Brady had a fucking 11-yard. Brady claimed it was an 11-yard run, but they gave him 10 yards. He was fired up, man. He's playing better than his fucking young guy. Giants stink.
By the way, what everyone seemed to be saying was what I was thinking, and it's gonna be a destination that you wonder if people are gonna want to go to, right? So follow this. free agents. It's okay. Sorry, housekeeping. Oh, Piper, come here. Hold on one second, Covino.
Well, anyway, like I said.
No, anyway, I'm sorry. What's going to happen is when it comes to free agents, Piper, hold on one second, bro.
This is great. Rich is on the road. And on his trip, again, yesterday, his 10-hour, he's only halfway there to grandma's. His 10-hour trip, he watched 2020 because he texted me about it. Like, oh my God, that shit was terrible. But he missed the game last night. But was getting updates, obviously, through the radio. So
anyway, but my bad. I'm sorry, everybody. What I was realizing was New York, guys like Russell Wilson that are looking for a new home, coaches like Jim Harbaugh at Michigan who may want to come back to the NFL. Like, is it possibly a hot spot? They've won a couple championships over the last decade or so, so it's not an organization that's fucking miserable that never wins. Do you look at the Giants and say, oh, you know what? It could become a destination where people want to go play. Maybe Russell Wilson finds his way there. Maybe
City,
a coach.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it's still New York. You know, they have a winning tradition, not in recent history, but I mean, it's the Giants, the New York Football Giants. 100%, bro. Yes. With different, management, different leadership. Absolutely, New York Giants could be a destination where Russell Wilson could go there and change the culture, for sure. Mm-hmm. I think so.
No, for sure. Tom Brady, apparently, according to Edelman, but we know this before, much like your family, Covino. You know how everyone calls you babe? Tom Brady apparently calls everyone babe. Hey, babe.
Well, this it goes back to what I said about Edelman. Spot, if you want to, I hate to put Spot on the spot, but if you look up the Manning brothers broadcast yesterday, they had Julian Edelman. They always have a rotation of guests stop by. They shoot the shit, and I get it. People like it. I don't.
Do you guys hear in the background here, like every single person in my family's crying?
Yep.
What is going on?
I don't know.
What is happening?
Want me to ask Emmy what's wrong? Want me to bring Emmy on and ask her what she's...
I want to know.
Well, I mean, we're all in a hotel room. I have no option, guys. I mean, I can't be like, hey, family, sit outside the hotel. They're on the balcony of our hotel, and it's Jesus Christ. Hold on one second.
I thought you were going to send them to the continental breakfast.
They went and then they closed it and made them leave.
So during the broadcast, Edelman was doing an impression of what he was assuming Gronk and Brady were talking about in that moment, and they kept going back and forth with the babe thing. No, babe, you're looking great tonight, babe. Hey, babe. And Tom Brady calls Gronk babe, and Gronk is, explaining that he could probably do better, next time. He's not 100% yet, and things like that. So he was reenacting what he thought they were talking about, and he dropped a lot of babes. So it dawned on a lot of people yesterday that, I guess Tom Brady calls Gronk babe.
Babe.
And, yeah.
Hold on one second. I got to find out what's wrong with Emmy. Hold on. I'm going to bring her on. We'll interview a 5-year-old and be like, why are you crying? Hold on. Emmy, come here. We need to know why you're crying.
Looked like Rich was visited by the booty bandito.
Why you're crying.
Right?
Yeah, man. What's up with his glutes?
Let's talk, buddy.
Aw.
What's wrong, pal? Want to tell Spot and Steve what's wrong?
What's wrong?
They want to know what's wrong. You want to listen to them? Here, put this in your ear. No? Tell them what's wrong, buddy.
Not having it.
Emmy, why are you crying, buddy? What's wrong?
I mean,
What's wrong, pal?
Doesn't look like she wants to be involved right
Instead of
now.
asking her what's wrong, ask her what's right.
What's right? It did. Paul's right. It sounded like there were 11 kids here.
I thought you were going to figure out a place that had a sweet continental breakfast that you could just send them to all morning.
Didn't I just say that?
I missed it. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Oh, I said they went there and then they kicked him out. They're like, all right, it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock later. It's like, oh.
Yeah, places have gotten stingy with their continental breakfast.
No, for sure. Well, yeah, last night I watched the special about, of course, 2020, the Turpin family. And then I watched
Turpin time.
What I watched also was Dexter episode 3. And let me tell you,
It's better than you.
it's it's really interesting because as I start, what the problem? Remember when episode 1 of Dexter came back, I said, it was all right. It was all right. You know what it was? episode 1 was such a setup that Dexter didn't even do any narration or talking until the last 5 minutes of episode 1. Now that we're in the full mix of Dexter again, where he's narrating all his inner thoughts and everything he's doing, it's so fucking good that I started to wonder, do I like Joe Goldberg's sarcastic narration, or do I like Dexter's like dark passenger narration? I fucking love them both.
I mean, they're both good, but Dexter's next level for me. Yeah, I'm digging it. Digging it the most.
Dexter's so good. And by the way, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but I really enjoy the Harrison storyline, like his son and everything. Like that's actually, I wasn't sure that's what they were going to do in the new season, but I sort of like it, man.
It's called Dexter, New Blood, Showtime anytime. Biggie DeLine knows what's up. Thank you. I saw some speculation too on our Carl pages of people agreeing that it sort of makes season 3 of You look mediocre. Whoever posted that, props to you. I saw the commentary. I agree. And I like you. I like the show you.
To be honest, I was equally intrigued. It's not like I was like, one's great, one's not. I think you and Dexter are both really good.
Yeah, but it's
really
cool because, so much time has gone by, almost 10 years. And Michael C. Hall and all those characters and that storyline is still bringing it. And I'm digging the Mr. Crab storyline, too. I forget his name, but the guy that plays Mr. Crab, the warden from Shawshank.
It's so funny you should say it's so funny you should say the warden from Shawshank, because I'm not pulling a Rich Davis where I didn't realize Jenny from Forrest Gump was in House of Cards. I knew the guy in Dexter was the warden from Shawshank, but I'm trying to wonder if there's something we know him also from, because I'm like,
he's played a bad guy since the 80s. He was the bad guy in Bad Boys with Asai Morales and Sean Penn. Yeah, he's always been a bad guy. This dude has been in so many things.
Yeah, but you know what? It can't.
His
name is Clancy some shit. What's his name?
IMDb that bad boy, because I'll tell you why.
You know his name. You're going to know his name. He plays Mr. Crab on SpongeBob SquarePants. He's the guy. He's the dude. This guy's been in so much shit, Rich. He's always the jerk-off bad guy, and he's the villain in New Blood Dexter this season.
No, agreed. Now, we all know him from Shawshank, the warden. We
Clancy
all know him
Brown.
now if you watch Dexter, New Blood. But I want you to tell me, what is the number 3 thing we know him from? Because there's got to be something recently. Clancy Brown is his name?
Yeah, Clancy Brown has been in a ton of shit. And again,
the warden from Shawshank?
Yeah,
the warden from
not the warden.
Shawshank.
He's the main security guy.
Yeah, the main guy.
Oh, Hadley. He was in
Hadley, yeah. Hadley, who plays a main character on the new Dexter series, is so good, but he's got a top-notch bad guy face. I agree, Ryan Young. Clancy Brown, people are saying, I'm Key saying he deserves respect. Great actor.
100%. He's been was he a staple of our childhood as like the bad guy.
Was he in Billions? What else was he in?
I'm looking to see what
I don't know if I share my
your memory.
Your video, Rich.
The Mandalorian, most recently.
Mando! Was that what it was? Was he in Mando? It's probably it.
Lots of voiceover stuff. Lots of cartoons this guy does. Again, SpongeBob being the main one. But lots. Like, when you're going through his IMDb, which I'm doing right now, it's a lot of animated voiceover shit. So Clancy Brown's living my dream.
Yeah, Clancy Brown, someone else said he was in Billions. If he was in Billions and Mando, we probably didn't realize we've seen him recently a bunch.
Bad Boys 1983. I can't say that enough. Fuck the Will Smith stuff. Bad Boys 1983. That was his first movie. He was also in The Dukes of Hazzard back in the 80s. The Highlander.
No, it's he was the Attorney General in Billions. I think that's what I was thinking of as well. And by the way, a show that everyone's talking about.
Paul Giamatti was the Attorney General in Billions.
I think he was trying to be Spot.
Oh.
Shawshank Redemption, obviously 1994, and I don't know, Dead Man Walking, Rich. I don't know what you know.
I don't know what you know. You know, like, not things that other people know.
Oh, he was in the Mighty Ducks, the animated series. I know you love that. So
I mean, we all know different things. I mean, that's just the truth. Here's my question for you, buddy boy. Of all the shows that people are watching, we seem to be on most of them. We try to keep our ear to what's popular. Spot loves Yellowstone. We're talking about Dexter. We're talking about You. We're talking about all the documentaries that come out. New Curb Your Enthusiasm. All the stuff people are talking about, I feel like we're on the pulse of. I started watching it, really liked it. I sort of stopped. But neither one of you started Succession, huh? Do we want to do that together? Do you have no interest? Everyone talks about how fucking great it is. And I remember it being really good. I just sort of fell off. I think I started watching, and then like Sarah had Ben, and I just got distracted. Because that show is so good. My dad
I want to get
raves
on
about
Yellowstone, for Spot and for everybody that keeps bothering me about it. I feel like I'm missing out and I'm sold. That's probably my next one. I just got to convince Jordan to get on board because it doesn't sound intriguing to her. Because I've tried.
Let's see.
But I'm not opposed to Succession or anything like that next. But either way, the point is Dexter, New Blood is bringing it. And it's been almost 10 years. So props to everybody involved in that show. We just hope it continues to get better. And Clancy Brown is definitely an intriguing character because something's bound to happen with that guy. So Rich is all caught up on Dexter New Blood.
Was he, well, you might know him from Flubber. That's how you might know Flubber, guys.
Maybe. Thank you.
Something you brought up yesterday at the end of the show, Covino, I know I wanted to get to today, and it's the Covino no good, very bad dilemma, because Covino talks about how he loves doing cool things. He hasn't really done much in the last year. And now, two things happen on the same day. Do you want to go over the dilemma Steve Covino faces in 2 weeks from now?
Well, that's all part of the buildup, Rich. I agree. For 2 years almost, I haven't had any plans, any invites, whole lot of nothing. And then...
I mean, you're not alone.
Yeah, no, I know.
People haven't had that.
Of course. But, we've also discussed recently that Steve needs to get out more. Just me. That's because everyone loves to make it all about, I need primal branding. I call it branding.
I think it's less about COVID, more about like just your desire and Jordan and other people pointing out that you need bonding. So we talk about bonding.
A lot of people need things.
And here you are.
Here I am.
With some options.
So the other day I'm chilling. I was doing my turbo shift and I got a text message from Brother Jose. Look at Jose gets shout outs 2 days in a row. Brother Jose hits me up. And, we always keep in contact, always checking in, always saying what's up. But I haven't seen him in a minute because he lives 3 hours away. He lives it's far. And we have completely different schedules.
And it's not close, right? It's like, I'm not saying it's like Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester compared to New York City. That's a little further, but I think a lot of people think Orange County, Huntington Beach, the OC, OC. I think a lot of people think that that's pretty close to where we are. It's not bad mileage-wise, but with traffic and everything, right. If you I had to go down to Huntington Beach for an event a couple weeks ago. It took me an hour or so, a couple hours.
Yeah, it's super close at 2 a.m. At 2 a.m., you could be there in 45 minutes.
Yeah, if you leave at that time, exactly. But
I might be exaggerating. I don't mean to be. With traffic, it's probably like 3 hours. Without traffic, it's probably like Seal Beach is probably like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away.
Okay.
And that's just
maybe
that's not an
he's further
excuse,
then.
but I'm just giving you a reason as to why. It's not like, hey, we're in the same area. Let's meet up for a drink. That's not the case, And after a long day's work, and he's living his dad life and going to festivals all the time. Our schedules never line up. So Brother Jose reached out.
Brother Jose is busy with rock festivals, cheering on his daughter doing cheerleading competitions. And he was telling me his daughter got like her, his kids are like working. They're adults. Yeah. I was like, wow.
They're big.
What the fuck is going on?
Didn't she get a tattoo?
I think
his kids are getting tattoos now.
I think they all got tattoos together recently or some shit. So either way, Brother Jose, if you don't know, he's the metal ambassador from Sirius XM. He's on Octane. He's on Liquid Metal. And we've worked together since the early 2000s. And he's one of the dudes that's out here on the West Coast. What's his slogan?
A family that slays together stays together.
Yeah, he's been saying that. Peace in a celebrated...
He actually says that. I'm like,
brother. On his email signature, it says, peace in a celebrated cloud of music, brother. Like he sends that to colleagues and executives. Peace in a celebrated cloud of music, brother Jose. Oh, brother. Rock on.
So is he implying that he's smoking weed and enjoying music?
He hasn't implied. He's been making it public since I've known him. So he's never hid the fact that he's a big time pothead. He loves his tequila. He loves his metal. He's a great dude, but we don't get to see each other as often as we'd like because of schedule conflicts. And again, he lives far away. And he does his show from the Affliction Studios. And that's nowhere where Rich and I live. But he reached out recently.
You do yours from the Ed Hardy Studios?
I do mine from the Von Dutch Studios.
Studios.
And he reaches out. He goes, yo, brother. Yo, we'd love to have you and your girl stop by for Melissa's birthday, brother. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. Because, again, it's been a long time. And it's been a minute with the pandemic. Everybody hasn't probably seen one of their pals way longer than they intended on it, right? And to be honest, when I think about Jordan and when she entered my life, once she entered my life, most of my life became about her. So I wasn't going out as much. I was going out with her. I was, in this. And since then, I don't think, I've been into a party with Jose, and I never brought Jordan. I never had that sort of moment. And it's been 4 years. So I'm like, oh, this will be a cool sort of way to catch up and have fun, and we'll celebrate Jose's wife. And, I want to show Jordan that, I got other friends and cool things going on. And
which birthday is this?
This is his wife's birthday party. But
any milestone celebration?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, continue.
His wife likes us again or no?
Probably not. Right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Back in the day, his wife thought we were a bad influence, but yeah, she digs us for sure. I think that's water under the bridge.
It's a part of the story only because back in the day when we were out, talking to girls, flirting, doing all our dumb stuff, anytime Jose was on the border of any type of troubling situation.
On the border, brother.
Anytime Jose was borderline inappropriate, it would always be like, oh, I was with Covino and Rich, brother. So we were the scapegoat of all scapegoats for anything in the 2000s. So there was a point where his wife hated us.
Yeah, she wrote us a nasty gram one time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that didn't help either. That didn't help situations. But a lot of time has passed, and social media, you keep in contact. His wife is always liking what we do and things like that. So again, I'm sure he reached out to all his rock buddies. We're all under the same department. Probably me and Shannon Guns and Katie Babs and whoever's out here that could make the party, and all his pals trying to do something nice for his wife. I don't know if this is a surprise party. I don't think it is, but I don't need you guys tweeting at him and making it public, okay?
Surprise, brother.
So let's keep this between us, this discussion. Thank you. The point is, it was really, oh, cool, man. This is cool. All right. I'm going to try to make this happen. I'm not good with RSVs or Ps, but I think I'm going to have to say yes to this one. I hope Jordan's around. If not, I'm going to go anyway, right? So cool.
When were you invited?
I was invited this past weekend, this past Saturday.
Okay. These are all key factors.
This Saturday, I was doing my turbo shift. Brother Jose, yo, we'd love to have you come by. Yeah, cool. Right arm. All right, that's cool. Back into the swing of it. COVID's gone. I got my immunity up. Let's take advantage of that. Let's get out there again. And I look at the date. I'm like, okay, Saturday, December 4th. I think I could do that. Saturday, December 4th. Okay, cool. Do I have Melody that day? I don't know. Either way, I'll make it happen, right? Then, later on that day, I'm at the SiriusXM LA Auto Show event with Rich. Rich comes in to relieve me from my hosting duties. And Rich is like, hey, man, I got a really cool fun time opportunity for us. I'm like, sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, when? He's like, December 4th, we're going to do this. And I'm like, December 4th? I don't know, man. Why does that sound familiar? Oh, dude.
It's
just on the same afternoon, I got 2 potential plans now scheduled for the same day. I'm like, bro, December 4th, bro, I was invited to this how do you do? Little shindig that Jose's doing with his wife. Bro, man.
December 4th is also my wedding anniversary.
Yeah, a December to remember.
Yeah, 11 years, by the way, 11 years this year.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. That is crazy.
It's wild, right?
That's
11
really
years.
Crazy. Yeah. That's really
I'm
crazy.
glad you remembered this year since I remember last year you almost forgot your 10th.
Yeah.
That's right.
What is the
December
11th?
4th.
Is it like a special present? Like what's the present for 11 years?
11, flesh.
Flesh.
So I'm just going to
Oh.
give her my penis.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Jason Flesh.
Yeah.
So the point is, you could have nothing going on for fucking months, years now. And then all of a sudden, shit. That's just how it always seems to happen in life, right? Everything happens at the same time. And you're like, what the fuck? There's so many weekends throughout the year. And now, I'm faced with two potential options, not knowing what to do. Because here's what Rich said to me.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you, this happens all the time to parents that are pretty involved with work, right? Like, do you remember that time our Asian friend had a work conference, but his son had a tuba recital?
I do remember that.
I love that commercial to promote. What were they trying to promote? FaceTime or?
Just their connection that you could stream from.
Yeah. Well, the point is, especially when you're living the mom or dad life and you have more than one kid, I'm sure there's parents all the time. They're like, yo, I was supposed to go to my buddy's big party, but my kid's got a soccer tournament. My daughter has a dance recital.
It's annoying.
This shit, it's the worst. I can only imagine, we talk to friends with multiple kids that talk about, like Spot, your brother Ed, every weekend is soccer, baseball, dance camp, this, that, everything.
Like I was able to see him for 2 hours the other day because it was in between games.
Believe you me,
just swung by for dinner.
These are nice problems to have. Yeah. Oh wow, Steve's got options. Wah. I'm expressing this for that reason, Rich. Yeah, so many people face that dilemma all the time, and it's so frustrating. And it's like, yo, does it have to be on the same time, same day? Like, give me a break. And then what are you supposed to do, right? So, Rich, you could tell everybody what the other option is.
So, a year ago, right around the time COVID hit, my friend asked me if I wanted tickets to something. And I said, yeah, you know what? I'll buy 4 because I know that when the event comes around, I could always find other people to go. It's a hot ticket. They had access to buy tickets before they went on sale to the general public. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Put me in for 4. I'll Venmo you the money. Got canceled. This is something I was supposed to do summer of 2020. So this is something that it kept getting pushed back, much like a concert Spot. Push back. And then finally they're like, open again. We're good to go. Are you cool with December 4th? And I was like, yeah,
a donkey show in Tijuana.
Spot, you're so right on. I've always wanted to see one. No, my buddy Zach, who I play softball with, him and his girlfriend had access to Hamilton. Hamilton came to LA. So I now have 4 tickets to see Hamilton on Saturday, December 4th.
So Rich comes up to me at this event. As I hand the mic to him, hey buddy, pass. So hey buddy, what's going on? He's like, hey, by the way, got those tickets December 4th. And I'm like, December 4th? Oh man, December 4th.
And I even said to Covino, I said, Cove.
Probably gonna go. He's like, well, it's gonna be good, Hamilton. Make up your mind.
And I even said to Covino, I said, bro, I know you've had a rough month. I know it's been you had a shitty COVID experience.
Yeah.
I said, Covino, I even said tickets on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't offer
And by the
that to
way,
me.
before he told me the date, I was like, yo, man, I am in.
I did Spot you. It's on me. You can. It'll be my Christmas present to you.
But before he said what day it was, I was like, yo, I'm in, bro. Fuck yeah. Hamilton is coming to LA. Yo, I'm in, bro. I loved it. I watched it on Disney Plus. I know all the songs. I dig the story. I've been to the place where he was shot. Yeah, let's do it. I know all about it.
And by the way,
I'm in. And then he told me December 4th, and I'm like, fuck. Now I don't know if I'm in.
You know why? I'm so quick to offer you guys the tickets for free. You know when you pay for something years ago that you forgot about, so it doesn't even feel like real money.
It's on last year's taxes.
Yeah, in my mind,
fiscal years.
I bought these tickets. I'm not even joking. I bought these tickets. I think at the end of 2019. So in my mind, I'm like, I even asked Zach. I was like, he could have lied to me and said, you didn't pay for them yet. He's like, bro, you paid. I said, what do I owe you? He goes, you paid for them like 2 years ago. You're good. So in my mind, it's not even real money. So I said, Covino, my treat. And I'll tell you why. Here's the thing. I have 4 tickets. My wife and I were originally going to go with Zach and his girlfriend, and that would have left me with 2 more. And I said to myself, Covino and Jordan or Spot and Kristen or Mike and Shannon, someone will want to go with us. But now, Sarah will not be back in LA in enough time. I'm going to fly back early because I have to do a couple things for SiriusXM. With that said, I have 4 tickets. Spot and his wife, me, +1. And Covino said Jordan's not really interested anyway. So I said, perfect. You're my +1, buddy.
Well, is it a no-brainer? Am I not seeing something obvious? As John Quinones would say, what would you do?
Oh, this is a tough one.
412-267-7469. The phones are always open. We take a lot of pride in still being the most inclusive, most interactive live podcast of all podcasts. So if you want to call up, I mean, the phones are, again, always open. Hit us up. Get on the Twitter at Covino and Rich, the YouTube stream, the Discord. Thanks for the efforts, Alex, and everyone there. The Carls, Ian Kennedy and the Carls on Facebook. What would you do? Thank you guys very much for all the feedback. Again, some may look at this and say, fucking Broadway show at your bros? That's fucking lame. And then guys like Magic Will, what's up, buddy? His brother, super talented, was part of the original cast of Hamilton. Magic Will would be like, yo, you better go see Hamilton, man.
Yeah,
that shit that's like current day, legendary, classic fucking Broadway shit that you need to see. Okay, cool.
I'm torn. Here's where I'm at. You can do what you want. I'm not trying to influence you either way because there is a part of me that feels like you need bro rock guy bonding time.
Plus, I just haven't seen Jose and a lot of those people, in his circle in a long time, So,
however, if this was,
and by the way, Rich, how many times could you say, you know how many times that Jose has invited me to things, but because you and I were doing a morning show and ESPN and all those things at the time, like I can't take a fucking 2-hour trip on a Wednesday night to be part of like his
eventually they just stop
or get
inviting.
Exactly. So that's a major part of my mindset. I got to really make that known. Again, you know how many times Jose has thrown it out there like, yeah, brother, we're doing the band is fucking performing. It's Wednesday night. I'm like, Wednesday night? I got to work Thursday morning at like fucking 8 a.m. And then, all these other things going on. How many times do you invite someone to something before it's like, yeah, bro, he's never going to come out. I don't want to be that guy either. Right? Like who the fuck wants to be that guy? It's just our schedules were always conflicting and it was like too far to just like randomly drive on a weeknight. And then
let me read want me to read the feedback?
Yeah,
right
sure.
now?
So again, guys, if you just joined us, 2 events, same day. Both are enticing. I want to do both, but that's impossible.
Jose invited you to his wife's birthday party or Hamilton with me and Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Jen Brown says, well, if I were you, I would just go to Hamilton. Let's see. EJ Reed, who feels everything, he's like, yo, like, I don't even think he's feeling this hypothetical. I think he thinks it's weak. Let's see.
Thanks, EJ.
Gabe Moreno says, Hamilton's so 20 teens.
It is. It's kind of old
Alex said it's tough. Hamilton will happen again, right? Yeah, but you know what will not happen again? A free ticket to Hamilton and easy access to a ticket.
Brother, you gonna go see Hamilton, brother? Oh, brother.
Well, I have a question.
And hold on, let me just read a couple more spots. Then the conch is yours. Hold on. Hamilton, very easy choice. That's from Kelly. Let's see. Andrew Hart said the only way he would choose Hamilton is if Lin-Manuel Miranda himself was performing.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. It would be. That'd be next level.
Franz said he's out on Hamilton. Anything other than that.
Well, again, I've only seen it on Disney Plus. I've never seen it ever.
It's not really about networking, though. I'm Key said, Covino, go network with the guys. It's not networking. Covino's in that rock world. He can't do anything more than he's already done.
And plus, these are my friends. I don't need to network with my friends.
Yeah. Let's see.
Jose, honestly, is like a brother. We've known him forever.
By the way,
can I let it be known? It's not Jose's birthday. It's his wife's birthday. If it was like, hey brother, it's my 40th, then it's like, well, dude, it's Jose's 40th. He invited you to his wife's birthday. I'm not saying it's a courtesy invite, but it's his wife's birthday. He's probably just being like, yeah, let me invite Pia. It's my wife's birthday. He's going to be tending to his wife. It's going to be all the focus is on him and his wife. And I just feel like you're just going to blend into the background of his wife's party. But then again, like EJ saying Hamilton. Oh, EJ is now saying Hamilton for sure. Let's see. There's no way I don't think he could go to both. They're in completely different places.
That was going to be my question. Like, what time is I assume the show's at night?
I'm guessing 7:30 or 8, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, like.
But is the party during the day?
No, it's at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, so yeah, you can't do both.
No.
Let's see. A couple people said Hamilton with an eye roll emoji, so I don't know if that means the other, but I don't know, man.
Well, 84% of people are saying that you should go to the birthday party. In our little.
Well, again, he hit me up first that day. It was the same day I was hit with the same date, for plans, and I was like, "Yo, man, I should be good that day, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can," because I wanted to, confirm that, Melody was taken care of, or if I didn't have her that week. I just wanted to look through the schedule first.
I mean, I'm fast. I mean,
I do think, honestly, can I give you my assessment?
Give me your thoughts. My final thought before the conscious right, I'll sit back and listen for the rest, is that I don't care. Not that I don't care. I would love to have you, but I will not hold either choice against you. My thought, though, is it's not Jose's party, it's his wife's.
Yeah, but
and do you really want to see Hamilton?
Of course I do. I do. I want to see Hamilton. I want to share that moment with you guys. But at the same time, how many times have I turned this guy down on plans that, because I was just putting my rest in my schedule as priority.
I think your answer would be way easier if you had not said no to Jose so many times in the past.
Mm-hmm. I just couldn't attend a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're crawled up each other's butts all day, every day. I feel like this is a whole section of people that you haven't seen. You don't know when they'll all get together again. I think I would lean towards going to the birthday party because I think if you really wanted to go see Hamilton, you would go see it another time.
Interesting.
This is a unique opportunity versus an opportunity that can be replicated, unless Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing a one night only performance. But I think this is a situation that could be replicated versus a once in a lifetime thing.
Two events, same day. Again, good dilemmas. Going to turn this dilemma into Dilemonade. Either way, I'll have a good time. So not complaining, just presenting and explaining the story to you.
Did Jordan seem excited to go to the party? Or was she like, all right, whatever?
Like I think
not excited or not excited either way. Yeah, she was just like, oh, cool. All right, December 4th.
You never know. Like you need to put yourself go into I'm very excited. By the way, I'm very excited to go see Hamilton, but I have no other conflicts that day. So it doesn't. It's I don't have a dilemma. It makes sense for me to go. But I think building personal relationships. You don't know the circles that Jose runs in. You don't know the circles that his wife runs in because she's in fashion, correct?
Yeah.
So are you using this as a networking thing, or do you genuinely see Jose's spot?
No, I'm not saying it's a networking thing, but I'm saying the personal interactions and communications that you all would be having at this other party
I get you.
are going to be more valuable.
Never know who you're going to meet.
And you never know.
Right, meet some cool people.
I hate to think of it in that angle, but you never know.
It's true. No, he's right.
Especially since we're even trapped more in a bubble. The three of us. So I think you getting outside of this bubble and meeting other people and hanging with other people is more beneficial, not only personally, but professionally.
It's also about showing Jose that I value his friendship too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you guys, you know that. I got to make this clear because I'm seeing a lot of feedback too from Alex Berman and Alex Efforts and P10. Jordan wouldn't be coming to Hamilton, but Jordan would probably come to the party with me. Again, I haven't gone over any sort of. No, she doesn't. I don't think she has a preference either way. I'm just going over the schedule.
One thing that's not a factor, I don't think, is the fact that you told Jose yes moments before I asked you. Because, no offense, Covino's not the grand main guest of this party. He hasn't seen Jose or his wife in years. So I don't.
Says you.
No, but what I'm saying is,
people are like, "Oh, he's here and he's wearing his white cleats." He's wearing his white cleats.
It's not even. It's Jose's wife's party. So if Covino's like, "Yeah, bro, I can't go," I don't think people would be like, man, Covino was going to come and now he can't. No offense, you're a fun guy, but I don't
You're a
think
fun
anyone's
guy.
hanging in the balance of if you're coming. But I think you should. I think you should go, to be honest. But
Well,
I
I'll
don't think
keep you
anyone's.
posted.
I don't think anyone's like, my God, is he coming? Is he coming? Like, I think you were a nice invite on the bottom of an invite list. You haven't seen Jose in 4 years, so it was a nice
That's not
invite.
true.
It would be
I
great.
fucking hosted events with Jose. I haven't partied with him in Seal Beach where he lives. That's true. I haven't been there in a long ass time. The last time I was there, I was with Al B, and I would say that was about maybe 3.5 years ago. But I mean, I've seen Jose since then.
I think based on the conversations we've had recently
Yeah.
about how you need to hang with dudes more and make more friendships and bonds, I would love to have you at Hamilton with us, but I think you should go. I think you should go to Jose's party, unless of course you start to not feel it, because you know what?
Now you got to force yourself.
Because you're right. Spot made a good point. We're so in our own little circle, right? If you have an opportunity to go outside your circle, then fucking do it.
Well, thanks for all the feedback. I'll keep you posted. I just looked at the schedule.
following-
That is it's a Melody-free weekend. I have Melody all Thanksgiving.
By the way,
break.
keep the following weekend
And
open.
this coming weekend is like my weekend. I rotate weekends with me and my ex. We co-parent. So,
But I want to make
this
something
is
very
my
clear,
weekend.
though.
This coming weekend is my weekend. So that means next weekend I'm completely open, completely free, which does
Keep the 11th
make
open.
things different for me because that's one less worry I have. One less thing on my plate.
I just
Keep
want
the
to make
11th open because we
yeah.
have another party that night too.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So just remember that.
By the way, I just have I do want to make one last point, and that some people like, it's just a show. If it was like, yo, Covino, you want to see Mamma Mia? That's just a show. This is still a hot ticket. You might not think it is, but it's like Hamilton, oddly enough, is still like the hardest ticket to get in that world.
Let me tell you, Mamma Mia is a fantastic show.
I have to open the door. I'll be right back.
That's the
Okay.
update, guys. We'll
Hamilton
continue
better
reading
bring it,
feedback.
'cause Mamma Mia really brought it when I saw that on Broadway.
EJ Reed changed his mind. He said he should go to the party. So
I think
John
the
Z.
party-
Elsa's party. Put up a poll, Spot. Let's be interactive.
did.
Okay. Where is it?
It's on the YouTube chat.
YouTube chat.
I mean, I can't really if we're questioning whether or not it's a surprise party. I can't really put this out in the public space.
Exactly. You're 100% right. I will keep you posted because here's something I'm not good at. R-S-ing and V-ing and P-ing. So I'm going to have to RSVP
rendezvousing,
soon.
Stephen playing.
I'll keep you posted on it. Some people are saying Hamilton's overrated. Most of the feedback I'm getting right now is that, yeah, maybe, 10 years ago, Hamilton was the answer, 5 years ago. Now go to the party because it's sort of like a coming out party. It's like, I'm coming out.
Well, honestly, based on our conversation,
Yeah.
and even your girlfriend said, you need to have more Joe Goldberg male bonding.
Really,
And
you really love that.
It's
Fucking-
different-
You're really
it's different
bringing that
than,
home.
like, if you were saying like, who's a band you like?
A band I like?
Yeah, who's a band you like? Who do you like? What do you do?
Let's say.
and the Nelson brothers.
Okay, let's say Foo Fighters. It's not like the Foo Fighters are doing they're a weekend at the Forum in LA, and we were able to get tickets to the Foo Fighters, and they're only the Foo Fighters, and they're only in town
Foo
for that
Fighters.
weekend in LA, and that's it. That I would say go to see the Foo Fighters. But this is Hamilton. It's a Broadway show. It's the traveling cast. It's been here already before. It's not the original people. So it's like you'd be going, honestly, you'd probably get an equal experience if you sat at home and watched it on Disney Plus. No joke.
Which was great. I already did that. I loved it.
Right. So, but it'd be cool to see live, but it's not a unique experience.
But on Disney Plus, it's the original cast.
Right.
Including
I think
Lin
you
Manuel
have to look
Miranda
at the-
and Magic Will's brother, who did a great job.
By the way, NW hit us up saying something obvious. The answers to this are just so jaded based on the interest of the person wanting to see Hamilton.
No, I think Hamilton is I really want to see Hamilton, but I'm saying I'm weighing the options. If I were in this position, I would go to the party.
Well, I mean, people need to understand that I would have interest in seeing Hamilton. You got to take it into something that would interest you then.
Spot, what if you were invited to Jose's party? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, if it were Jose's party,
Yeah, what if you got the same, what if you were on the same email as Covino? It was like, brother, I haven't seen you guys in a while. My wife's party. Come down to Orange County.
if it was in the same order, because if you hadn't, asked me beforehand and I committed to the ticket, then I would be committed to the ticket.
No, but if the same thing happened to you that happened to Covino and you don't have that relationship with Jose, would you still have gone to Jose's party?
Yes. I would have said, oh, thanks. Rich, oh, that sounds great. But I'm going to Jose's party.
Even though you have
again,
no
Jeff,
relationship with Jose?
Well, that's what makes it tricky. Now you're comparing apples and oranges.
No, but I'm saying, like, are we valuing Covino's friendship with Jose because he really liked?
I would say that Covino.
Let's say it was like Tim from Hits One or one of your old office mates from like Sirius XM.
Okay, let's say it was like Tata.
Yeah, let's say Tata's like, we're all getting together or something.
Happy birthday,
like that.
Tata.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tata. What do you do there?
It's her birthday today. I would go to Tata's party.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would go to the party because I would see her. I would celebrate.
I agree. Listen, I want to make it very, very clear.
Experience that can't be replicated.
I'm not pushing Hamilton tickets. If you guys don't want to go, I could easily find someone to buy them or just take them.
I want to go.
No. I know you do, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't want anyone thinking I'm pushing Covino to go.
No, I want to go. I definitely want to go. When Rich told me about this, I'm like, oh man, I am in. Let me make that very clear. I was super stoked. I was like, dude, I've always wanted to see it. Cool. It's here in LA. Yeah, man, I'm in 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Until he dropped the date. When he dropped the date on me, I'm like, fuck, I can't. Did I commit to Jose? No, but I said, yeah, man, I think I could do that. So I'm not a douche yet, Jeff the Jerk Man. I'm not backing out yet.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you guys posted. But again, I'm just trying to relate because I know this happens so often to everybody all the time. And the only other, the only old school example I could give is like, and I bring it up often, but it used to happen to me all the time. I never watch a show, but when I finally sit down to watch the show, it was like the same episode that aired last time. I'm like, man, I never watched the show and it was the same fucking one. That always seemed to happen. So anyway, 2 events, same day. What do you do? Thanks for all the feedback at Covino and Rich. We have the live direct YouTube feed. You can put your vote in there. That's right in our Patreon link, the YouTube direct link. Thank you, Dave Castillo. Thank you, After Show But Later, JC, Salvador Diaz. And again, speaking of Tata, our former associate producer, happy birthday to Tata. If you want to send her some love.
Happy
I'm going to
birthday,
give
Tata.
a few more shout-outs. Ian Kennedy and the Carls, I already shouted you out. EJ Reed, I already shouted you out. Kevin Cedarholm. What's up, Dildo Baggins? Old school. Kevin Cedarholm. Zach Hillard. Antonio Hernandez. Miss Erin Kathleen. Paul Dimitrik. I don't know how to say his last name, but Paul, we've known him forever.
Yeah.
Paul, you're a great guy. Appreciate all your feedback always. Jaime Tavares, my guy. Orale. He bought me this hat years ago, so I got to shout him out. So thank you guys, everyone listening. Ladies.
Hey,
Aliens all over the world. Shout out Beast Boy Ben, the Butterbean. What's up, Ben? He's on our screen right now, tier 2 on Patreon. That's why you got to subscribe. That's why you got to upgrade. You can see Ben's side poofs.
Oh,
Rich,
he's got poofs.
He inherited your poofs. So wait, bring him back. Let's see
Ben,
those.
come here.
Look, he already wrote fart on the wall.
Look at that.
Oh, Ben.
Ben,
Come here,
jeez.
bud. Come here.
He inherited
buddy.
the poofs. Sarah brought Beast Boy in to our studio the other day, and she's like, "Look, he's got Rich's poofs," and they were blazing.
Here he is.
Look at those locks.
Mount Vapoofiest.
Mouth of Boofiest.
Yeah, he's got we got to figure out what to do with this.
I love it.
What to do with this hair?
Never cut it.
He's got blonde hair.
What type of man has blonde hair?
He looks like
Diet black, be a man.
looks like Eric Carmen, bro.
Well, anyway.
So that's again a great dilemma. It's just the story. It's not really like, oh man, this is just what would you do? How do you handle that? I found out about Jose's party first. Later that day, Rich's Hamilton adventure. So, and again, to watch with Rich, this is Rich's fucking wheelhouse of awesome, right? Rich, he's Hamilton boy. So by Rich extending, a ticket my way, he's like saying, I want you to experience this with me. Got to keep that in mind. So I'll let you know. That's next weekend, December 4th. Got to figure it out soon. So Covino and Rich, at Covino and Rich. I have a random question for you before we get into the rando news. Actually, you know what? Let's get into the rando news.
Yeah,
Get it out of the way.
I have a story that I thought you'd find interesting
Okay,
because it's in your wheelhouse of like, yo, we host these events. Like, I might be doing a couple big events. Yo, Ben's about to break the hotel door. Yo, chill, boy. He's pounding on a glass door in the hotel.
He's a rock star. He's going to destroy that. He's going to like throw the TV out the window.
You know, you and I have hosted many celebrity interviews. In fact, I take a weird pride in feeling like you and I, there's very few people we haven't talked to over the years.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it really is true. And I'm starting to get back in that mix. Like they have me, I think they're gonna start having me be like the main person doing like town halls out of the LA garage studio for SiriusXM LA. And you know, I get there's a certain level of prep that goes along with those type of things. Not your regular show interview we did, but if we were doing some type of sit down event, there's a level of prep that goes along with it, right? Like you'd prep differently for a SiriusXM, like our town hall with the cast of Cobra Kai. You gave that a little more attention than, hey, Random Hottie's going to be on our show back in the day.
I mean, yeah, clearly, obviously. Yeah.
Hey, if like Spot would agree, if Spot was like, guys, I got Dennis Quaid on, do a little extra research. So if like Dennis Quaid's on, I'm doing a little extra homework than as if, hey, the side character from the show I like is on. You know, like, hey, reality TV, yeah.
In my mind, you prep heavily for everyone.
Hey,
but
Rich is no
that's
Tom
me.
Brady. Pull up Gronk's, if you could find it. Gronk says Brady prepares the
I can't
same
put Paul
way
Benny. Destroys
for
the
as
streak.
long as he's known him for every week, regardless of what team they're playing. So
Right.
no
Like,
one's
I
more
would
prepared
hand
than
you-
Tom Brady, and he was singing his praises last night at the press conference, regardless of coming off of 2 losses or not, or whoever is on the schedule. It's the same level of preparation always. So maybe you should take a
I would
page
hand
from
you
Brady's
regardless of who it was. I would hand you sheets of prep. I would read their IMDb's and Wikipedias and trivia and watch other interviews and go on deep dives into all the I would watch like hour interviews with other people.
Yeah,
I do agree with Rich,
I'm just
though.
saying, Spot. Like,
Nuggets
I
that you guys could
rather do.
reference. And you should be doing that for everyone.
I disagree. I think.
Well, so again,
never
there's
know.
a, there's a
I think
side
if we were
question
to
here.
interview-
Do you agree with the Tom Brady approach to life?
Yeah.
Or do
No,
you agree with the
listen,
Rich
it's Tom
Davis?
You know what? You know who else preps every week equally hard? Fucking probably some shitty quarterback. So just because it's Tom Brady doesn't mean it's like, well, it's Tom Brady's approach.
This was the press conference yesterday, though. This is
know.
like in the news right now.
Like you know whose approach you need to take? The what's that guy from Hot Ones? People always say that's a great question. You know why? Because he goes on these deep dive
Hey.
crazy questions.
Hey, listen, Spot. I think that if we're sitting down with, like when we have Peter Gallagher on, who is a legendary actor, I think that requires a little more respect and prep and research than, hey, we have the cast off of the last person kicked off of Idol. You think they deserve the same amount of mental preparation?
Different, but I would argue that most everyone we've had on our show deserves a little bit of
You can make the argument that if you
respect
want to
and
make
research.
that a better interview, because who gives a fuck, right? Who gives a fuck about
Yeah.
the American Idol guy? Your job is to make people give a fuck. You know what I mean? So
Agreed, but
an argument could be
I'm
made,
saying-
although I'm not. I understand exactly where you're coming from.
I know how you're trying to spin it, but you asked, and I completely disagree with you.
Okay.
That's your choice.
All right. Then, hey, we agree to disagree. My thought is you prep for everything, but I'm gonna do a little more investigating if I'm sitting down with Lady Gaga than as if I did my basic research on a one-hit wonder. That's all.
Okay.
I'm digging a little deeper, and that's just.
I think a lot of us would agree with you that we do that. But what Spot is saying, is that really the best answer?
Because you don't know, maybe that person that is a one-hit wonder in 5 years could be the biggest star ever created, and you have one of the early interviews and they loved it because you really went the extra mile to like look them up and know about them
Right.
and talk about them.
Well, hey, I only bring this up because there's
You
a
never know
story
what
there's a story that's trending big time, and it's a guy who traveled thousands and thousands of miles to have an exclusive sit down with Adele about her new album. Her new album 30 came out last week. It's all the rage. People fucking love Adele.
I love Adele.
She
I'd
looks
love to sit
fantastic.
down and like have a drink with Adele and not talk about her music.
You know, I listened to some of that interview that they did on SiriusXM where John Mayer was the one that sat down and interviewed Adele.
Yeah, it looks like
And
she was behind like a blurry window.
He was very, he seemed very prepared was given very prepared questions by someone. But here's the deal, as Joe Biden would say. There's a guy that's gone viral because he's traveled thousands and thousands of miles to do an exclusive TV sit down with Adele. And when he got there, he was honest and said, "Oh, I haven't had a chance to actually listen to the whole album yet." And they fucking sent him home and said, "Well, then you can't interview her." Is that rude or is that fucking right on? Like, Spot, find the article. They say that he traveled with connecting flights, like 10,000 miles. And they're like, "Yeah, later to you." And he's like, "Yeah, but I know everything about Adele. I just haven't listened to the new album yet." And they're like, "Yeah, later."
I mean, that seems like something he should have done, especially with all that time and travel on his hands.
Agreed, yeah.
He couldn't download the album on his 10,000 mile flight. I listened to the album the other day, just fucking making breakfast.
Exactly. Like, there's people who are not interviewing Adele that have listened to the entire album.
Pretty good album, by the way.
You would think that would be the least he could do, especially since he was putting so much effort to get this done. That's
Channel 7 in Australia secured Australia. So for the entire continent of Australia, this was the sole interview for them. So let's see, an Australian TV host landed an exclusive interview with Adele, but the footage was withheld after he told her that he hadn't listened to her new album 30. Matthew Doran, the host of Channel 7's The Weekend Sunrise Show, flew to London from Sydney, a journey of about 10,000 miles on November 4th, to interview Adele in her only album interview with Australian outlet. During the interview, when asked by Adele what he thought of the new album, he said he hadn't listened to it yet. The singer was offended. The interview ran to completion. The outlet said, but the
you know what? There it is. That's it.
They're withholding the rights to the interview footage.
End the story. They did the right thing. They don't owe this fucking jag off anything. I'll tell you what. I get offended. People hit me up and they'll say things like, some guy hit me up yesterday, and I know it's coming from a good place, but I'm a person. I have feelings, I have emotions, I'm invested. You know, I want to get ahead. I believe in what we do. I feel like our show has always been the little fucking train that couldn't or could, but didn't. Never got the real shot it deserved. Never got the promotion it needed, but the product's always been there. So I take a lot of pride, and I'm, again, emotionally invested for fucking almost 20 years into this. So some guy hits me up yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, man, are you guys like as interactive as you used to be?" You know, or something like that. "Hey, do you guys like do phone calls or like something that implied to me that he doesn't even listen?" So I'm going to take a little bit of an offense to that. Like, well, you would know if you were listening. You know, do I expect everybody to listen? No, I get it. I mean, people have lives. People, subscribe and unsubscribe. I get that. Yeah. But this guy indicated to me that he doesn't listen at all because he threw like some obvious question like out there. Like, "You guys not on every day still?" Something like that. And I was like, yeah, well, if you fucking subscribe, you'd know that.
Well, not only subscribe.
So at that point, again, I understand if Adele's offended, end of story.
I'm more offended when...
Oh, go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
I'm more offended when people don't know what we're doing because it's not... Like, if you go to any form of our social media website, anything, there's either a pinned post or on the main page of like, "Hey, here's what the guys are doing now." Like, so you've really you've taken a lazy approach to do zero investigating. Like
when people are like,
that bothers me. So hold on, if that bothers you and this bothers me.
I miss you guys. Where'd you go?
Right, that bothers me too a little bit.
How the fuck do you not know?
I know it's coming from a good place. So you could see where Adele's like, well, fuck this guy then.
Social media, every possible thing. A Google search will tell you where the fuck we are.
But, dude, I get it, but
by the way, I completely defend Adele, and I'll tell you why. Because I've seen it, and I don't care. I'll say it, but with you guys, sometimes we would have a person on that was promoting a project, and you would not watch the project, and I would, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is what it's about," just so you know. I understand you have busy lives, but I at the same time, this is Adele, and she had the one album. She's a huge star. If you guys were sitting down with, let's say, Will Smith.
And by the way, Adele, just because she's a big star, is she in the business?
Please.
She's not in the business of wasting her time with some fucking
I still think
idiot.
everyone deserves a little bit of respect if they're coming on your show. So that's part of being prepared. And you were not always properly prepared because you chose to be you
Kenny
chose
Porter?
to get by on your great interview skills, but not want to look at the project.
He thinks he's Kenny Porter, this guy.
I mean,
Talking about our preparation.
I think this guy.
If I'm so great, why don't I do it? I don't know, because I choose to prepare my hosts for it.
Dave
No,
Castillo
I wasn't
says,
going to ask that, but you asked yourself that. I didn't ask you that. I was going to say, I'm going to go back to level of interview. If you're interviewing Adele on a national platform for your country and you don't fucking listen to her album, you're a moron.
I mean, that's just ridiculous.
But if some guy comes on our show or some woman came on our show, Covino and I couldn't always be up on every single project they were on. I mean,
you just chose not to be.
But Spot, we
No,
also
I choose not to be. I just didn't like to fake the interest in things that I'm not into.
People would
You think
come
Jimmy
out.
Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and all these people watch every show of everything that everyone's on? David Letterman used to joke about how like he didn't even know what the projects were.
When you had the daily schedule of Jimmy Fallon, then you could talk.
If I had the schedule of Jimmy Fallon, then guess what I'd be able to do? Watch all the shows that the guests have on.
I'm just saying. Yeah, it was a matter of investing. Like
Jimmy
you
Fallon's
constantly said, "Oh, I watched this and this and this last night," but you didn't take the effort to watch the person that was coming on your show.
Jimmy Fallon.
Just saying.
Jimmy Fallon has a hell of a lot
We're
more
never going to
time.
agree on this. Once again, we're never going to agree on this. Just let it be.
Why don't you have ever done an interview then?
Because I'm the producer and
You
my
have no
job
interest
is
in
to-
it?
I mean, I would, but I don't feel confident interviewing people because it's interacting with people is different than reading a shit ton of info and preparing for an interview.
Mike Durbin said you couldn't pay him to listen to the Adele album, and I said to Mike Durbin, well, don't worry, no one's got to pay Mike because fucking millions of people have bought that album in the fucking first couple days it was out. So, no offense, Mike, she doesn't need your help. Adele's doing just fine. Adele does him.
This is and I hate saying this stuff because you guys
And Bill Jackson's right. A lot of these people have staffs that do notes and give them.
Bill Jackson's right. Since when?
Do you think when Howard has a guest on and he's like, in your book on page 48, do you think Howard's reading novels every day?
Once again,
and he's also on a couple days a week. So I mean, maybe he has more time, but still.
Once again, when you make $100 million a year and you have a support staff of 60 people, you can do whatever you want. When you're not even like there have been times where 5 minutes before the interview, I'm sorry, I want to preface this by saying you guys have done amazing interviews. You're great interviews. You're great at building rapport with people.
Too late to preface.
Whatever. You're great at like making people feel comfortable and letting an interview unfold and all that kind of stuff. Like we've always made fun of other people that just have a list of questions and go through their questions and don't listen to the person. You guys are great at doing that and interacting with people, but there have been situations where 5 minutes before the interview, you're like, wait, what are they promoting again? What are they in? What is this? So, having seen
sometimes depending on the person.
I never traveled from Australia to the,
I also never traveled across the country to interview someone and be unprepared. I'm saying if
it's to our situation,
if you told me, I don't know, I'll give you one. I'll give you a great conversation we had, but it doesn't mean I was up on their project. If you told me that Donald Faison and Zach Braff have a podcast they do every day, we hung out with them and we had a fucking great interview last year with Faison and Zach Braff. Covino, was that not fun?
Great time, actually. Yeah.
Other than listen to a little promo snippet, did you need to really dive in and listen to their whole podcast to get to have that good interview?
No. Hey man, look, I just interviewed.
Sometimes a movie trailer or a 3-minute snippet of something is enough because unless you're diving into the project so heavy, I just think this.
If you think back to some of your better interviews, they were things you were passionate about. Like who said? Mike Durbin said your best interview was with Stone Temple Pilots. Covino, you knew Stone Temple Pilots inside and out. Every song, every fucking album, everything. And you were able to talk to them about it, and they were so impressed with your knowledge that the interview was one of the best interviews we did.
People still talk about
you had such a knowledge
It's on YouTube
of their the quality of work or of their body of work. Just saying, that's it. I just think that I hate to like. I know what you're trying to say, but I get it.
I was trying to find the video of Gronkowski talking about Brady's preparation and
You should
how
prep for. You should be Tom Brady. Be
it's-
Tom Brady, Rich.
I'm trying to tie two stories together.
You be
know,
Bill Belichick.
Awkward
Yeah.
burgers are served.
You be Bruce Arians.
I will.
I mean, it's for instance, if there was a guest we wouldn't want on in the first place, that was always like pulling teeth to get us to really want to care anyway. There were many times where you're like, guys, have this one in, have this person on. We're like, yeah, we don't want them.
And that's on you.
So again, guys, if you just joined us, Adele sent some guy home because he didn't listen to her album.
And I think we could all agree, though, that the guy is a doofus. He was flown across the country to interview Adele, and he doesn't listen to her album.
I mean, it was his sole purpose, right? He had one
Oh,
job,
no.
as they say. And then on the flip side, last night at the press conference, Gronkowski was saying how, regardless of coming off 2 losses or not, Tom Brady's preparation, and he said it for years, is no one prepares greater, no one prepares more than Tom Brady every week consistently, the same way, regardless of who they're playing
Adele's
and
album.
if they're coming off a win or a loss or not. His level of preparation is always the same. So both stories tie together, and then Spot hit us with a Kenny Porter, like, we're not prepared enough, and that's why.
Adele's album is 58 minutes and 18 seconds. That guy couldn't spend
Yeah, all that traveling.
58
I
minutes
agree.
of his 10,000 mile journey. He couldn't spend 58 minutes listening to the album. By the way, the track I'll tell you the song I really like. What's it called? Oh My God is a really good song.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh my God! Oh my God! All right, so we continue with the rando news.
Song on the album.
Now we know how Spot feels, but the rando news continues.
This is nothing new. I've
the
said this to
world-
you for years.
Messing, bro. I don't care. In the world of sports, speaking of Brady and football and everything else, OBJ's salary, his 1-year deal with the Rams, $1.25 million, I believe it was, will be paid in Bitcoin, according to Boring Report and other news sources that I saw.
Well, what's
But
now,
I thought that was pretty
here's
cool.
the question. But here's the question. What
He also has $3 million in incentives too. On a side note, but yeah, that $1.2,
Well-
$1 million 1-year deal, Bitcoin, Rich.
I'm confused by it, and I'll tell you why. You get paid every week at Fox. We get paid monthly on Patreon. We get paid bi-weekly on SiriusXM. Every company, in fact, you get paid 3 different ways. Every company's pay scale is different. So when it's Odell Beckham Jr., he's talking about Bitcoin and getting paid that way. My first question is, your currency doesn't change. Let's just say you got paid, I don't know, a flat rate of fucking $1,000. Every time you got paid, it's $1,000 in US dollars, right?
No,
If
I
you
got
get
paid
paid
in
it-
art lessons.
If you get paid in
Meatballs.
Bitcoin, are you paid one big lump sum at the current price of Bitcoin, or is he riding the waves of the highs and lows of Bitcoin? Because when you get, let's say your salary, pick a
know,
round number.
just so
if your
Spot
salary
knows.
is $100,000,
I read the articles. It didn't say what I saw, and I read. I did preparation H. I didn't see that, Rich. It's a great question, though.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know.
if you get, if you, let's just pick a round number. If you get paid $100,000, that's cash money, U.S. dollars. $100,000 in Bitcoin could be $140,000 next week, or it could be $60,000 next week. So each week, his payment it could deal with the highs and lows of cryptocurrency, which I think is an interesting. So does OBJ say, all right, pay me now? Bitcoin dipped to the 50s. Pay me now. Did they say, well, we're going to pay in a week? He's like, no, pay me now. Like, I mean.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know, but I read several articles on it because.
It's 4.25 million is his salary, so he's taking it all in Bitcoin.
Well, it's a 1-year deal for $1.25 million.
And it sounds like it's a promotion.
And with incentives,
through
it could be $4.25 million.
Current market rate is how people get paid,
promotion through Cash App.
but
So
it's one of those things where like you're taking a risk. It's almost like Covino. It's like saying
Dave Castillo, the $10 million man, says he's probably riding the waves of the Bitcoin.
Yeah, and a lot. Think about this too. If you're getting huge chunk of money. I imagine you're investing a lot of that money. So you're riding the market anyway. So you're either riding the Bitcoin, the crypto market, or you're riding
but Spot, the crypto market is as volatile as the regular stock market is. The crypto market is so volatile where you're talking any given day, things can go up or down 10, 20, 30, 40%. So,
Kyle in Pennsylvania says it's nonsense. They're paying him $1 million in Bitcoin. The contract isn't 20 Bitcoin. Rich is correct. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's a story. Right. In sports, LeBron suspended, first time ever in his career, suspended. It was his second ejection this weekend in his career. First time suspended.
Sports.
Well, it's our rando sports news update. Sports. OBJ, 1 year in Bitcoin. LeBron suspended, first time in his career. No pay. Whoopity-doo. But for suspended one game. Isaiah Stewart is suspended for 2 games.
You say one game, whoopity-doo. Do you know what one game is?
I mean, salary-wise, I'm sure it's steep, but I'm saying it's just one game.
You just said one game, no pay, whoopity-doo. Kyrie, who refused to get the vaccine, don't you remember every game Kyrie Irving missed for the Nets, he lost $380,000? So I know chump change to a guy like LeBron, who's on the borderline of being a billionaire, but still.
So
that's three. That's like he's probably losing $300,000 to $400,000.
He's losing. His 1 game suspension will cost him $284,000.
Yeah, almost $300,000.
Yeah, but so what?
Buy a house with that.
He fucking played dirty, as everybody said, as everyone under the moon said. LeBron's not a dirty player, but that was a dirty play. So he suspended 1 game. He's not above that shit. Fuck him. So $280 million. I mean, that's what he's getting paid. He should be happy about that per game. So he's gone 1 game. Isaiah Stewart 2. And then in other sports news, sports. Speaking of LeBron got some fun out of roasting his former teammate, Kyle Kuzma. And I just got to show you this fucking clown. Like, I hate to be the old school guy of like, this is what guys looked like when I watched, back in the day versus what they look like today. Like, hey, this is, when I watched, they fucking weren't calling penalties every 5 seconds. They weren't flopping like they do today. But, man, this is definitely one of those moments of like, yeah, NBA players didn't dress like that when I was a fucking kid growing up. Did you see Kyle Kuzma yesterday?
I saw Kyle Kuzma, and
he got roasted by even like his colleagues, his peers.
I love that NBA players take a lot of fashion and style risks. It's a big part of that culture in the NBA. But this is
agreed,
like,
Rich.
what?
But it's Russell Westbrook is definitely one of those guys. NBA dudes overall, like Rich said, take a lot of pride in their walk to the locker room and their style, and that's cool. I get it, but like, man, it's you see guys like Cam Newton, you see guys like Kuzma, and you're like, what are they doing? Kyle Kuzma in the news with like a ridiculous long sweater on.
It almost looked like a pink dress.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How long, is it that long?
Yeah,
I gotta see this.
It almost looks like you almost don't believe it. It almost is like Photoshop. Like that's not real. Yeah. So again, it was all over social media trending last night, even until today.
Oh, by the way, this just in. I have breaking news. Breaking news. Brian Laundrie.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They're saying that he died from a self-inflicted gunshot. So now they're pretty certain that he killed himself.
What a fucking scumbag.
The Gabby Petito story is sort of, I guess, answering its own questions.
Fucking scumbag.
So, okay, thanks for the update. You got the Kuzma picture spot? I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I've told you, it's kind of hard to pull up things because
every time he pulls up something, we buffer and freeze, Covino.
I told you this multiple times.
I thought it was just video, though, so okay.
Moving on. Okay, we'll just cancel the video stream. Is that okay?
No, I thought it only would stutter and buffer and
do you want that to happen?
If we played video, not if we posted a photo.
Oh, I mean, I could try. I'll try it.
the style choices are a bit ridiculous. I feel like I feel like it's a credibility sort of killer, to be honest. It really does. I feel like it's counterproductive to the badassery you're supposed to bring to the court. Sometimes. Most of the time I like it, but when you're taking these weird risks like that, it's like, I don't know. But who am I to judge? Kyle Kuzma, do your thing, buddy.
Another thing I saw, Covino, news alerts. The Dollar Tree. I guess they had to make this announcement because they're called the Dollar Tree, but because of inflation, they're saying like, yeah, we can't have that dollar price point for things in our store anymore. So the Dollar Tree adjusting to the inflated world we live in.
Okay. In other news, there it is. Look at that. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, it looks not real almost. His sleeves go down to his shins. You don't see his hands, and the sweater goes down to his knees, just about his mid-thigh knees. So like an oversized, ridiculous Sean the Lawyer sweater. Remember Sean the Lawyer sweater?
This is a nice Irish sweater.
This is an Irish sweater passed down from my grandfather. Was your grandfather?
I think it's fantastic.
Grandfather must have been 6'9".
It looks really comfortable. I would totally wear that.
In other news, Kuzma's fit. In other news, Kim Kardashian's new guy, Pete Davidson, reveals a love bite on his neck. So if you're into the gossip, Pete Davidson's walking around holding hands with Kim Kardashian with a hickey, basically, and that's news. So he revealed his love bite on a romantic date in L.A. out on the town with Kim K. Who's cooler than him right now? Not too many people. Props.
No.
You know?
I love the conspiracy theory that Kris Jenner put together Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian to distract everyone from the Astroworld fiasco.
I mean, anything's possible.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that. One kid,
Right?
protect one kid with a distraction with the other.
I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, and it works for everybody. You know, Kim shows she's moving on from Kanye. Kanye's looking buff, by the way. Photos of him revealed have surfaced recently. He's in a tank top looking sort of ripped for Kanye, so that was cool. But, you know, and then Pete Davidson's career gets a nice little boost out of the whole thing. To think it's not planned out, or it couldn't be planned out, is foolish. It absolutely could be. But they also could be feeling each other and in love right now. He's got the love bite. In other stupid rando news of the day, I saw a headline and I was like misled by it. I was like, ooh, no way. The story was something along the lines of Weird Al Yankovic and Kid Rock are beefing at each other. And I'm like, Weird Al, who I love, and Kid Rock are beefing?
It's a really good beef. I mean, those are two people. I'm like, wow, Kid Rock and Weird Al. I would love to see, like, who's gonna make fun of Weird Al?
But,
like that, like, you can't make fun of Weird Al.
Of course, you know that's not the real story, but the media or like social media posts and stupid articles really are trying to position it that way. Weird Al Yankovic said in a tweet to everybody congratulating me right now on the new Kid Rock parody video, please let me clarify, it's not me. That's actually Kid Rock. So there's a lot of, apparently, you know how Kid Rock looks like Dr. Phil, but Kid Rock, and he doesn't look the same anymore. A lot of people are seeing the new Kid Rock video. Kid Rock has a new video, and they're all congratulating Weird Al on his new parody. And he's like, no, it's not me. So anyway, that turned into a little back and forth and a little backlash, and a lot of fans just going back and forth about Weird Al talking shit about Kid Rock, and Kid Rock fans talking shit about Weird Al, and that turned into some sort of weird little story that I share with you today. But the point is, it's not Weird Al, and Kid Rock has new music out. And on the turbo tip of what I do every weeknight on SXM, the story is that Kid Rock's going back to his 90s Devil Without a Cause, early 2000s, I should say. His early 2000s Devil Without a Cause, like rap rock sort of vibe, done with that like country thing that he was doing for a minute. But
that didn't work.
This is is this the new Kid Rock video spot? It was working here on my end. So anyway,
no, the setup I had. Hang on, here it is. Is this him?
That's Kid Rock, obviously.
But where does it look like Weird Al?
I have no idea, but that's where the story went.
Is that him?
Hey man, I get Weird Al updates. Me and Mercer man from Pittsburgh. But yeah, Kid Rock is bringing back the old school. There you go.
It does sound like old school Kid Rock, so I guess he's bringing back that vibe.
What is this?
It's called Don't Tell Me How to Live. I believe featuring Monster Truck.
Honestly, it could be Weird Al.
Don't Tell Me How to Live. Yeah, I think it's a lot of people being caught off guard by, again, new Kid Rock. There's also new Limp Bizkit out. A lot of these bands coming out with new stuff that's actually getting good reviews from like the fans. In a world where everyone's quick to hate, people are like, yo, I really love the new Limp Bizkit, but they're bringing that shit back. Kid Rock's back. There it is. And Bachelorette tonight. Enjoy it. That's your rando news of the day.
Two more things, bro. You're missing two big stories. Jason Garrett out as offensive coordinator of the Giants after last night's piss poor performance. So Jason Garrett, who lasted way too long in Dallas as a head coach, already out. Let me just double check that. But people are saying Jason Garrett is out.
Fucking Jason Garrett. What about Mrs. Garrett?
Yeah, Mrs. Garrett. Yeah, Jason Garrett.
Where's she at?
Sources say the Giants fire offensive coordinator Jason Garrett after not even a year.
Where's Mrs. Garrett? She with Different Strokes? She with Facts of Life? Where's she at?
Can't keep track.
Where's she at?
I don't know. And did you see the latest celebrity that's going to hang out with Jeff Bezos in outer space?
Who?
Michael Strahan will be taking the journey.
Strahan's the guy, man. He's so great. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
I used, by the way,
good for him.
I played the role of Boomer recently, and I thought of you
when you bought those dad shoes at Walmart for $9, and then wore them to an event.
Then it was another time. Then we were at the Ford show, and you got to imagine all the promo girls and guys are like 20 somethings. They're doing like promo work, right? And one of the girls was like, yeah, I was like a baby and my parents told me about the OJ Bronco chase because we were working with Ford Bronco. And she's like, they told me that OJ was like the most loved guy. I'm like, yo, your parents are right. OJ was the most loved guy. And I actually said, all right, let me give you an analogy my buddy Covino and I use. For your generation, that would be like Michael Strahan out of nowhere being accused of murdering his wife.
Or Shaq.
Shaq and Michael Strahan. And I said, and that's not even close to what OJ was.
Yeah, because he was the only guy doing like endorsements and acting, and one of the only guys.
I was like, think of mainstream black guy that white people love, black people love, everyone loves,
and had the credibility, like as an athlete, like he was that
athlete,
great,
broadcaster, actor, everything. I was like, Michael Strahan and Shaq are the two closest answers to what OJ was, right? So when you look at it that way, what OJ did and the Bronco in the 90s, that would be like as if all of a sudden we turned on the news today and fucking Shaquille O'Neal was a murderer.
He's on the run. Yeah, no, for sure, man. For sure.
What's that little fucking car Shaquille O'Neal pretends that he drives in, but there's no way he fits?
It's like a Ford Focus.
Not the general commercials, not the insurance commercials, but yeah, Shaquille's on the Shaq's on the 101 in his fucking Ford Escape.
Or whatever
Ford
it
Edge.
was, whatever he used to promote.
Or, yeah, whatever that little tiny car is.
So
Toyota Echo.
My guy Jeter used to promote the edge. Jeter's got the edge. I'm pretty sure
he's got the edge.
He's got the edge. That's our rando news of the day. Again, thank you guys. Shout out to Profiling Paul. Appreciate you.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Sure, man.
You know how, what was it, 2 weeks ago, we discussed we discussed Soup, but also the top 3 Tom Hanks movies because he was asked what his 3 favorite films were. So now somebody else, another icon has been asked 3 films that represent their career.
Oh,
if you needed to like be introduced to this actor, they gave their 3 films.
Spot, is this a good discussion for tomorrow's Wayback Wednesday?
It might be. So maybe we set it up and then we.
Yeah, give me the setup because I'm also kicked out of here. I have this. I'm already on my late checkout, so I got to run in 2 minutes. They were already called.
Yeah, absolutely. We can break it down. So the iconic actor is Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves has said his top 3 films that represent. If you were unfamiliar with Keanu, what his films would be?
Walk in the Clouds, definitely.
Whoa. So the top three, I mean, obviously, number one, The Matrix. Number two, Devil's Advocate. And number three, Point Break. So these are the top three films, according to Keanu, that you should see if you want to like represent Keanu
Point
Reeves.
Break is a fucking great movie, man.
So think about that for tomorrow.
It's funny you would say this, Pop, because truthfully, like, I've seen those movies, but I'm not
Have you
versed
seen
on
Point Break,
Keanu as
Rich?
much as I should be.
Have you seen Point Break with the
Like, well, yeah, dude, when I
Swayze?
was younger, I'm not familiar. I'll be honest. So I might
saw
as
that
well
in
say
the-
no.
I
I
saw
might
that
as
in
well
the
say no
theater.
because
and a million times since you haven't seen it like on TV. It's one of those movies that you must see. I think it's a must watch. Yeah. Swayze and Keanu.
Maybe that's what I'll do now that I'm leaving Tucson on my way to Texas. Maybe I'll download some Keanu movies.
Wow. All right.
There
Well,
you
good
go.
one, Spot.
Think about that for tomorrow.
And think about this. JC wanted to know, those young girls you were talking to at the car show, Rich, were they impressed with your shoes or no? Or just,
no,
or just the OJ story?
luckily it was day one when I wore normal shoes. Thank God. Thank God.
All right. Well, then, on that note, I want to thank you guys for all your feedback. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Thanks for hearing the stories about my dilemmas regarding two events on the same day. And we got some cool stuff for you planned for tomorrow. So,
Yeah. The official poll is that you have to go to Jose's thing.
really?
Yeah,
so far?
74% as we speak.
Wow. Okay, cool.
74%. Yeah, official poll.
Thank
All right,
you, guys.
Hey, have a great action-packed Tuesday. I'm getting on the road. Tucson. I stayed at a pretty cool place. It's like a random little fucking. It's not even the name of a hotel I've ever seen before. It's like a little mom and pop, little cactus-themed, fun Tucson hotel. So later, Tucson, onward to Texas. So I'll see you guys tomorrow from Texas, hopefully.
All right, cool.
All right. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land. Later, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Hang on.
Bye.
I forgot.